I have suffered from sleep paralysis for years. The first time I ever experienced it was about 5 years ago when I was about 16, 17. And I went to sleep one night like normal, and I awoke in a dark room. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, and I could see shadowy figures moving past my door. I was really, really panicked, and I felt something grab my ankles and pull me from the bed onto the floor. I lay there for what felt like hours, and my whole body was pins and needles until I actually woke up. I ran downstairs to tell my dad what had just happened, and I was so shaken up and scared to go back to sleep in case whatever the hell that was happened again. Over the next few years, I would have these kind of experiences often. Once I dreamt that I fell into a wasp's nest and every sting was just as painful as it would have been in real life. I dreamt that I was stabbed by a stranger in the street, and again, the pain of the knife was agonising. Demon-like apparitions would haunt me while I lay there paralysed and helpless. It was a living nightmare, literally. I started to research my experiences online. To my relief, hundreds and hundreds of other people were going through the same thing. Some people believed in a scientific explanation where your brain just becomes confused, whereas some had other theories. One being that these apparitions are in fact visitors from other worlds or people who've passed on. Now, while reading about sleep paralysis and ways to combat it, I came across the term lucid dreaming. The experiences I read about this seemed so much more positive and kind of cool, really. In a lucid dream, you're aware that nothing is real and that you are in a dream. And with patience and practice, lots of people have learned how to control their lucid dreams however they like. And just like sleep paralysis, it all feels real. Flying, teleportation, meeting your favourite celebrity, the possibilities are endless. There were lots of tactics online for inducing a lucid dream, and to me, this seemed like a fantastic way to free me from these realistic nightmares and at the same time experience something that had been described as life-changing. From here on out, I tried to lucid dream all the time, trying different techniques like lying completely still but keeping my mind active. I tried something that the lucid dream community called checking, which is where you ask yourself throughout the day, is this a dream? And the idea behind this is that the question becomes so ingrained in your daily routine that when you actually enter a dream, you'll question, is this a dream? And then become aware. There is another technique that I read somewhere. It was probably Reddit, so go and check out the r/lucid dreaming sub. It has been so helpful to me throughout this journey. I think the technique I read about was like, if you aren't sure if you're in a dream or not, you can look at your hands, and if you are in a dream, your hands may not look quite right. You could be missing a finger or like have an extra one, I don't know, something like that. This can work in the same way as checking. So if you look at your hands a lot in real life, it becomes part of your daily routine. So you're more likely to check your hands in the dream. These are just a few techniques, and I'm sure there's a lot more online and on r/lucid dreaming. Personally, I tried all of these techniques for a really, really long time before I was able to actually induce a lucid dream. And even when I did, I got way too excited about it and ended up waking myself up. It's only now, after like a year of practice, that I've been able to stop having sleep paralysis pretty much altogether and turn the experience into something positive. It's still a challenge for me to really do much of anything in the lucid dreams, and I will tell you about all that in a second. But yeah, for some people, lucid dreaming is apparently really easy and comes naturally. And for me, not so much. The effort and time I've put into being able to do it is insane, but the experience is so worth it. And in a way, you're able to do things that you may never get to do in real life, and it all feels very, very real. So now I'm going to tell you about what my lucid dreams are like. They are pretty mundane compared to what other people online might have experienced, but a lot of those people have been practicing lucid dreaming for years, and I am a total newbie to it. So my lucid dreams are always set in my house, and they always start out with me waking up in my bed with a full view of my bedroom. Most of the time, I will start to feel myself levitate just slightly above my bed, and I really, really have to keep the concentration to make this happen. This is also the signal to me that I am in a lucid dream and when I become aware. Initially, when I first started lucid dreaming, this was it. I would levitate very, very slightly and not be able to do much else really, because the element of paralysis is still there to a degree. After a lot of practice, I was able to sort of roll out of my bed and take a few steps around my bedroom. Believe me when I say this is so difficult and requires so much effort. It literally feels like I'm swimming through tar or glue or something. Since learning to move a little in my dream, I've been able to move a little further every time. And right now I can open my bedroom door and make it down the stairs of my house, which doesn't sound that interesting, but I can't quite explain how it feels. Like all rules of physics disappear, and it is the strangest feeling. If you've ever lucid dreamt before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I did have one different experience, which hasn't happened since, where I was stood on top of a very, very high brick wall. And I remember thinking to myself, it's a dream, nothing's going to happen to me if I jump off here. But there was definitely some doubt there. And another part of me was like, what if it is real life? But I just kept saying to myself, it's definitely a dream. And I eventually jumped off this wall. And when I hit the floor, I bounced like a ball. And I was just bouncing around for ages. We'll leave this video on a positive note. There is a sort of dark side to lucid dreaming, so if you'd like to see a video on that, let me know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, it would really help me out. And as usual, I'll leave all my socials in the description. See you later.